The year is 1550 BC, and the nation of Egypt has been at war for decades. For over 100 years, Egypt has been split in two, with the northern part of the country being ruled by a tyrannical foreign people called the Hyksos. But now an army is gathering in the south ready to expel the invaders and unite the country once more. Leading this army is a young boy who just came of age, the new Pharaoh of Egypt, Ahmose I. Now we know today that this campaign was successful, and that Ahmose would go on to expel the Hyksos from all of Egypt, but not without paying a heavy price. Under his leadership, Egypt would also become the most powerful it had ever been. And while he is remembered today as a great warrior, many of his accomplishments have been lost to time. Now we will tell his story. The beginning of Ahmose's rise to power can be dated to 1 year before his birth in 1570 BC, when Egypt was still under the control of the 15th dynasty based in Thebes. A group of Asiatic nomads known as the Hyksos invaded the country and established their own 16th dynasty in the north, with pharaohs wearing both Egyptian and Asiatic styles of dress. Many Egyptians fled south to the region of Thebes, which would come to be known as the New Kingdom. Here they would establish a new capital city and re-establish Egyptian rule in the south. Yet despite the efforts of the Egyptians, the Hyksos remained in control of the northern part of the country for the next 100 years. But as we said, everything would change when Ahmose was born. As a child, he trained rigorously so that he would be prepared for his future role as pharaoh. His mother, Queen Aho, Tef, was the daughter of Seqenenre-Tau, the former ruler of Egypt before the Hyksos invasion. She wanted her son to take the throne and unite Egypt once more under the rule of the native Egyptians. She put him through grueling training regimens to prepare him for his future battles against the Hyksos. When he came of age, Ahmose was only around 16 or 17 years old, yet he was already a skilled warrior and strategist, ready to lead his people into battle. As the oldest son of the current pharaoh, it was up to Ahmose to take his father's place in battle. His first order as a general was to lead an offensive against the Hyksos forces in the north. With his mother's blessing, he led his troops northward, but it didn't last long. He was soon defeated and forced to retreat back to Thebes. Though he had lost his first battle, this did not deter him. Instead, he took some time to regroup and plan his next move. After taking stock of his forces, he realized he needed more soldiers if he was going to stand a chance against the Hyksos. So he returned to Thebes and asked his mother for more troops. She agreed, and with her support, he raised a sizable army of foot soldiers, charioteers, and archers. This time, though, he didn't go straight into battle. Instead, he used his army to lay siege to several cities held by the Hyksos. These sieges lasted for months. But eventually the cities fell, and he had the chance to capture some of the Hyksos soldiers alive. He questioned them about their strategies and tactics in battle, hoping to gain an advantage. But his greatest discovery was something else entirely. He learned that the Hyksos were planning to attack him in Thebes. They believed that his mother would not allow him to leave the city walls, and that he would not be able to mount any meaningful defense against them. Ahmose knew he had to prove them wrong. While the Hyksos were assembling their forces, he spent his time training new recruits and improving the defenses of the city. When the invaders finally attacked, he was ready for them. His troops were well trained, and the city's defenses were strong. To everyone's surprise, he was able to repel the attack and drive the Hyksos' forces away from the city. He followed the retreating army and ambushed them. This victory gave him the confidence he needed to push on and conquer more territory. But he wasn't done yet. The following year, he led his army out of Thebes and into the northern part of the country. The Hyksos were expecting him and had set up an ambush, but he was prepared for it and defeated them again. This time he pursued them all the way to their capital city of Sharon. It was here that Ahmose faced his greatest challenge yet. The city was heavily fortified and defended by thousands of Hyksos soldiers. But after months of fighting, he was able to breach the city walls and capture it. The Hyksos rulers fled, but they were caught and executed. In the end, Ahmose had expelled the Hyksos from Egypt and reunited the country. However, that is not where his story ends. You see, after expelling the Hyksos from Egypt, Ahmose went on to do many great things. He would go on to reign over a golden age in ancient Egypt and make the country the most powerful it had ever been. But how exactly did he accomplish these feats? Well, let's find out. First off, let's talk about his military accomplishments. As we mentioned earlier, he was a skilled warrior and strategist who was able to defeat the Hyksos and expel them from Egypt. But that's not all. He also led many other military campaigns against various enemies of Egypt, such as the Nubian kingdom of Cush and the Canaanite city of Kadesh. These campaigns were successful and resulted in the expansion of Egyptian territory. In addition to his military skills, Ahmose was also a great builder. He built many temples and monuments throughout Egypt, such as the temple complex at Karnak and the city of Akhmim. He also founded the city of Avilion, which became the new capital of Egypt. These building projects not only beautified Egypt, but also provided jobs for many people and helped to boost the economy. Moreover, Ahmose was a patron of the arts and culture. He commissioned many works of art, including sculptures and paintings, and he also supported the development of literature and music. His court was a center of intellectual activity, and many scholars and scientists lived there. All of these accomplishments were made possible by Ahmose's ability to maintain peace and stability within Egypt. After expelling the Hyksos, he was able to establish a strong central government that was able to collect taxes, build infrastructure, and defend the borders of the empire. This peace and stability allowed Egypt to flourish and its economy to thrive. As a result, the people of Egypt were able to enjoy a high standard of living and were able to participate in trade and cultural exchange with other civilizations, such as the Hittites and the Mitanni. Overall, the legacy of Ahmose I was a positive one. He is remembered as the Pharaoh who expelled the Hyksos and reunited Egypt. He is also remembered as a great builder, a patron of the arts, and a champion of peace and stability. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out our other videos about ancient Egypt. We have videos on everything from the pyramids to the pharaohs. Thanks for watching.